Interesting. I imagine you're not gonna get paid more. Hmm. I ordered a bunch of shit last night. I really need to stop. It's all stuff I wanted or needed, so mostly stuff I needed, but so I bought a new game to play that I might play in between these seasons of The Walking Dead, just to sort of like break from The Walking Dead here and there, or maybe I'll alternate back and forth, like play an episode of Walking Dead and then come back and play an episode of this, but we'll have to see. I told you that you ordered too much. I definitely ordered too much in these past couple days, but like I said, most of the things I've ordered were things that I actually need, so or like, for example, the game I ordered was the Spider-Man game, the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man game, Marvel's Spider-Man, and it was on sale. It's usually like $45 or something. It was on sale for $30, so I went ahead and ordered it because I've been waiting to buy it when it goes on sale for a hot second. And I actually have money to buy it now. So I ordered that. It'll be here tomorrow. I won't be playing it tomorrow, but I think I might start it next week. Especially once She-Hulk is over. I'll have 2 gaming days a week instead of just 1. So after, not next week, but after the week after next week, I will have 2 gaming days a week instead of just the 1. Because right now it's editing on Monday, gaming on Tuesday, and Reddit on Wednesday. Once She-Hulk is over, we won't have editing on Monday, so we will have gaming on Monday and Tuesday, and then Reddit on Wednesday. So, yeah. Thing is, I know that this game makes me motion sick, so I'm going to have to figure out how motion sick it's going to make me, because I remember getting motion sick while watching people play it, so, you know. It's funny because most of the things I order, I tend to return. Maybe not most, but probably about 40% of the things I order, I end up returning. If it's clothing, I'm almost certainly going to end up returning it. I ordered some different earbuds to try out because the ones I bought for work don't really stay in my ear very well. So I ordered some different ones that might hopefully stay in my ear a bit better. And then I could return the other ones because the other ones were like $40 or some shit. So, whereas the ones I ordered were, I think, $20. These new ones, yeah, they're on sale for $20 right now instead of 30 that they usually are. And they're Skull Candy. I really like Skull Candy's stuff most of the time. I have fond memories of Skull Candy because when I had my very first, that's not a USB-C charger. Is it? No, that's a micro. But when I had my very first iPod back in middle school, many years ago, I had a Skull Candy case on my iPod. I loved that thing. I loved the matte finish, so it had that like kind of soft type texture to it, but not like soft like a dog, but soft like that. I don't know how to describe it, but like it has that slight texture to it. And I loved that thing so much. And then my iPod got stolen right out of my locker, along with the case, of course. Gone forever. I never found it again. Very sad. But I've always had a fond love for Skull Candy products since then. I've had other ones here and there throughout the years that I've enjoyed to the point of breaking them or to the point that they just died because I used them so much. So hopefully these ones will follow suit. These earbuds will follow suit, hopefully. They are the in-ear kind, which I don't really like, but it will work better for this job to have the ones that like that let's see, let me just show you. I hate trying to describe shit, it's such a pain in the ass. Okay, they're these kinds. They have the little point that goes in your ear. I prefer the ones that are like shaped like the Apple AirPods are. I prefer those kind, but when I'm trying to find something small that'll fit in my ear, these will likely stay better in my ear than the others. Ooh, I didn't know there was a light gray blue. I just ordered the black ones, but I might have ordered the light gray blue if I'd known. I have Samsung Galaxy Buds. See, this is what I'm hoping I'm going to be able to do with it. I don't know if my ears will be big enough for this, but this would be lovely because then it'll actually stay in my ear. Because the problem I have right now... I thought you pulled up a vibrator. No. I don't know why it blocked the term gay when that's literally one of my tags, but okay. But the ones I have now are like AirPods, but they don't have a stem on them. So they fall out really, really easily. And then they end up, like, I bought the over-the-ear, like, construction noise canceling earmuffs to sort of hide the fact that I'm listening to music. Because you're not supposed to do that at work. And then I put the earbud in, but it would always fall out and then it would just be rattling around in the over the head earmuffs. So hopefully these ones will stay in a bit better. Fingers crossed on that. You know. Oh, you don't see those blocks? Oh, maybe it's because I overrode them immediately. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, but yeah. So they're supposed to get here tonight, so I can like put them in my ears and like shake my head around and do a bunch of shit, make sure that they are secure and gonna stay. And then if they are secure and gonna stay, I'll probably place the other ones for return and start wearing these to work this week. So. Oh, you haven't seen any in the past either? Weird. Maybe you have to be in mod mode or whatever it was that I ended up in the other day in order to see it, maybe. You got all the badges though, Jimmy. I'm not sure what time Max is supposed to get off work today. I assume 4 o'clock, but I don't actually know. I shall ask. Probably, yeah. Because I know Jarek has, I know Jarek and Stray have both actively done things like that. And I think they both use PCs, so maybe that's what it is. Candle. I can't smell much, but maybe the scent will wake me up. I hate PC if I can go mobile. I injured my neck last night, and I don't know how I injured my neck last night because I literally laid on the couch all night. So I don't know what I did, but my body apparently did not appreciate it. So, like, usually when I spend all night on the couch watching TV or on TikTok, which is what I spent a lot of last night doing, I tend to try to change positions every once in a while so that my body doesn't, like, get stiff or my neck doesn't start to hurt because I have had that issue in the past. So I try to purposefully, like, lay down and then sit up and rotate and roll over and move, like try to stay constantly changing positions so that I'm not sitting in one for hours and hours and hours. But it didn't seem to work last night because my neck is stiff as fuck. I had to get a heating pad out last night so I could fall asleep. And it still hurts this morning, so that's great. Hopefully the shower I take later will help loosen it up, but who knows. I don't know if I've ever used Twitch mobile. Like, I think I've had the app downloaded before, but I don't think I ever actually used it, which is weird, but, you know. Oh, I'm supposed to know which country this is. There's only like one that does a middle white line. Ah. Max would know because this is a very unusual lineage for the roads. The middle white outer dotted yellow lines are really weird. The thing that's throwing me is this says miles, but that's because a lot of like EU places will use miles when driving, but not for anything the fuck else. I should know what language this is, but I don't, so we're gonna go down a bit further, see if we can get to this truck. Because there's English here, too. Very weird. No kilometers in Europe? Only UK does miles for driving and kilometers. Oh, I thought it was more than just that. Ah! Go away. So then where the fuck is this? Because this isn't the UK. It's not cloudy enough out to be the UK. See, it is EU, though. So maybe it is you all, because that's... Or maybe it does, like, do, like, Scotland and Wales and all those do it as well? Not our roadside, so... so this is confusing. Because this obviously isn't America, but, yeah, the big white sign that was all the way back here. Honestly, should have given it away. The lying alone would have, if I was an experienced player of this game, would be enough. Max would probably be screaming at me if they were here right now. Sup, Danielle? Or Daniel? Is it Daniel? Yes, it's Daniel. I didn't see the main sign the first. Yeah, this. There's a airport nearby. St. Margaret's. got multiple languages here, so could this be like Finland or something? Like Finland, Norway, like a place that uses one language but also uses English fairly often, because those are some of the only places I can think that would have both. I don't know what this language is either, so like that's another reason I think it's one of those two, or one of those three, I should say: Norway, Sweden, Finland. Because I don't know what language this is, but oh, it could be Iceland. Iceland would make sense. I don't know about these lines though. It's very flat, so it very much could be Iceland. You're right about that. Doubt they have M50 though. See, I don't know what that means. Mile 50, is that what that means? I'm gonna click Norway because it's right in the middle of everything, so we'll see. It was Ireland. Ah. See, I was gonna ask if Ireland and all of them did the same thing as you all, but I wasn't sure. Oh. Know where we are? I don't, but I'm gonna guess. It's always either Brazil or the Philippines with that dirt. Huh? Oh, really? Maybe they use both just to fuck with people. I think I know where we are. I love that it dropped me next to a sign that told me exactly where I was. That was really helpful. You don't get that often enough. Is this French? What language is this? Don't scream at me if I'm stupid, okay? I don't know languages that well. We've discussed this. Feels French. Yeah. Looks very, it's not, it doesn't, this stuff doesn't look French, but the language looks French. So. I'm gonna go up this direction. Yeah, most of the France coverage that I've come across is right in Paris, so. America? No doubt. Question is where in America? Strangely, I don't see any flags right now, which is a little out of the ordinary. But let's move up a little bit. We'll find one. I think there should be like a speed run for Geoguessr called Flag Percent, where you get dropped in a random place in the United States and you have to find you have to find a flag, an American flag. Why? No, I want to see the sign. It's not helpful. It's very muggy out. Yeah, there's no doubt this is the US. Not a doubt in my mind. I know what my country looks like. 724 feel like I've looked at that one before. The 724 area code. Harrisville. Wait, what does that say? VFC, damn it. Okay. I thought maybe it would give me a state. VFC is not a state. Slippery Rock Dry Cleaners. It's a very interesting roadway. Feels like we're in a downtown area, though. This feels very downtowny. So we can probably find a sign that tells us where we are. The 724 should be enough. I know I've looked that specific area code up before. I think this is PA. Might be, yeah. I'm thinking 724 is up in that direction. I know I've searched up that specific area code before, but my brain is just not remembering. It's been a minute, so. Slippery Rock House. Huh? So weird. Why do all the Dollar Generals look exactly the same? It's kind of impressive if you think about it. I wonder if there's a Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania. What's the green sign? This one back here is a church. So. Slippery Rock University. What the fuck kind of... That's a real thing? That's so weird. Slippery Rock. That's almost worse than Western being built on a hill. If I'm being honest with you. I just wanted to know if it was legit or if it was like a program or if it's like a legit ass university. No? Oh, there's the flag. There it is. Told you we'd find one eventually. The question is, where in PA would it be? Because this doesn't feel like Pittsburgh. But we should be able to almost 5K this because we know we're in Slippery Rock or whatever. Feels like it'd be up kind of near the water, but doesn't seem like it is. Oh, did I? I'm sleepy, so I'm sorry. Look, we've got an Edinburgh. Oh, we use both. A lot of them are called like where I went was Western Kentucky University. Like they call themselves universities, but then we call it going to college. We don't say going to university. So. It's America. We can't do things in a way that makes sense, okay? You should know this by now. Ah, here's Slippery Rock. Eat. Pretty good, except for this one, but that's because I didn't feel like moving around in a random area because it did drop me in the middle of goddamn nowhere. Oh, America. Or Canada, but probably America. This is America forestation if I've ever seen it. Yeah, that front plate is... There's not a plate on it, but that's where you would put a non-EU license plate, at least. Should I just guess a state? I might just guess a state. Instead of trying to find... Because we're in the middle of nowhere. We're not going to find something that tells us what the state is. Most likely, unless we happen to cross a state flag. But I don't know my state flags very well, to be completely fair. We have a lot of them, so... We could try to flag percent it, though, and find a U.S. flag. Because there's got to be one around here somewhere. We're in a trailer park, so... A very American trailer park, I should say. Right? I never even really learned them in school. Like, outside of the states I've lived in, I don't really know what most of the state flags look like. Like, I could probably do a decent job guessing which state flag if, like, you showed me one, but I would still probably be incorrect in my guess. Looking for an American flag, just for confirmation that this is the US of A and not Canada. Although I'm 99% sure this is America, so... God, it's barren as fuck out here. Must still be a developing area. Right. I don't know my country flags well either. I'm very new to this game, and I don't really spend a lot of time on it, so... It's a very wide open area. Like I said, it looks like they're still working on, like, building more and more houses here. The problem with the US is... Oh, there it is. There's a flag. America. America. He's cleaning his truck. I'm going to guess... Indiana. Ah, it was Alabama. I was close. I knew it had to be, like, near where I am. I knew it had to be, like, on the, like, eastern side of the country, because that type of the foliage really changes as you go west. So I went more north because it felt very Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio-y to me, but northern Alabama works too. Ooh. Fuck. Japanese? Is this Japanese? One of these days my brain will recognize the difference instantly. When I see Japanese versus Chinese, my brain will instantly recognize the difference. I promise, one day. Is it, because it's very simple characters. Japan has more of a reputation for vending machines, do they? I mean, there's just some damn vending machines right there. And it's got, is that anime on it? So, I'm gonna go with my gut and go to Japan. The question is Northern or Southern Island? I'm gonna guess Southern Island because, and I was correct. Yay, America, again. I think. You love your current corn syrup. Huh? Big old cornfield here. Ah, Wisconsin. Well, it was close enough. Figured with the cornfield it was middle America, so middle United States, I should say, not middle America. This is middle America. America again? No, EU. I was like, this architecture doesn't look very, this architecture here looks kind of, discounting the language, which appears to be German, looked kind of like California-y, and then I turned around, I was like, oh wait, no. This is German, so. Austria. It wasn't German. Well, I mean, maybe, I think they use German in Austria too, so close enough. School committee, but for where though, Paul? Paul, which school committee? Austria also uses German. Damn it. Well, you know, I tried. At least I got the language right. That's the point for me, right? This is obviously the US, but where exactly in the US are we? This is very East Coast architecture. Yeah, right. Honestly. Someone just started doing yard work right outside my window, so. Doesn't this feel very East Coast architecture? Like, I don't know why there's an empty plot here. It seems maybe one of these bought this plot, maybe? But this feels very, like... This is not West Coast. No. See, American flag. There it is. These are all really big. What is that? Oh. Oh, wool. That should help narrow it down, right? Are we in Pennsylvania again? No, there's a bridge over here. Hold on. But which city? Which city? Which city council, though? 508, okay. Maybe it just gives me a lot of US because it knows I'm better at US stuff. Mayor for where? Fall River. No, I don't know if that's going to be helpful. Future Fall River. Oh, this also... Oh, Massachusetts. We're Massachusetts. That says MA. Fall River, Massachusetts. Explains the bridge. Let's see. Where would Fall River be? I don't know. I'm gonna guess more over this way though, because there's a big old bridge over here. There it is, Fall River. Yee. We had 3 in the US. Yeah, probably, yeah. And there's a whole lot of the US mapped. UK. Look at this building. No, that's not an EU plate. Oh, yes it is. There. Yes, it is. I like to try to throw out a guess right when I land, just to sort of see. Merton. Is it like straight up just UK? Wick. John Wick. Yeah, I'm guessing Merton is the place. Merton Register Office. I don't recognize the name. Well, it's got yellow back plates. I believe that is a UK thing. So, London Borough of Merton. Oh, okay. Helpful, helpful, helpful. So I'm just gonna go middle of London then. Yeet. But I don't know everything. Yeah, that would have taken me ever to find that. So I'm glad I didn't try to like search straight for Merton. So. Some very American soil. But it's not America, not based on these plates. Red on the plate. EU, obviously. Obviously. Duh. Poland's in the EU, right? This feels very Polish. That looks kind of Polishy, but God, there's just so many different languages in this region here. It's really hard to know unless you're just very familiar. Hold on. Polyfarb. My gut is saying Poland, but I don't know if that's correct. Arbotrans. You said it feels kind of Hungarian to you. Okay, I'll guess sort of southern Poland then, just in case. You were right, Hungary. They just all look so like, especially these few here all look so similar to each other to me. Poland loves their green signs. So the blue sign was a giveaway. In the US again. Well, that sign's not gonna tell me any information. Maybe not. This is just a lot of corn. The more I look around, the less American it looks, but... Those solar panels? Yeah, they are. Nice. Love me some good solar panels. Will they show me this sign? Will they let me read this one? No, doesn't have any information on it. Main Poland roads are numbered in red. A good way to different Polis is that it uses WCZ. Yeah, that's true. That was like the thing that was giving me doubt, was that I wasn't seeing a lot of W's, because Polish loves their W's. So, this feels America to me, but at the same time, this is a really, really, really big stretch of land, and so there's not really a lot for me to go off of here as a newbie player. At least 5-to-1 constant to vowel ratio. Yeah, that's fair. That was the only thing that was giving me pause, because I'm quite familiar with what Polish looks like, because the main person I watch ASMR from is Polish, and I watch a lot of his Polish videos, so I'm very familiar with what it looks and sounds like. So my brain was like, this looks semi-Polish, but my brain was like, Which is why when you said Hungary, I was like, that might be right. Let's maybe go somewhere closer to there. Because sometimes my gut's correct, but lots of times it's not. Sounds like Welsh. I'm not familiar with what Welsh sounds like, to be fair, so... I don't know where the fuck this is. I'm just gonna guess Central America and probably be wrong, so... Yeah. Okay. I had nothing go off of there, so... Can I get closer to this door? Okay, this is kind of a Spanish-y language, if not just straight up Spanish. But this could just be like a Spanish restaurant in the middle of downtown somewhere, so... no, this might be Mexico. Oh yeah, it's fun listening to people say that name. It's very interesting. It's like, why would you all do this to yourselves, you know? Wait, Argentina? Yeah. You know, it was South America. I knew it was a Spanish-y language. Hey, that should be a dead giveaway, shouldn't it? But I don't know what it is. Ooh, yellow front plate. Interesting. These are very it's obviously not the US, but like these are very interesting roadways. So let's do a little travel here. The front yellow plates are kind of throwing me because I don't know my plates and stuff very well. I don't know a lot of my things very well, to be completely fair. This is probably a dead giveaway for people who play the game regularly. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. I know I have all the clues that I need. I don't know them. Oh, is that Chinese? Is this China? That's Chinese, right? Like I said earlier, I'm still trying to... My brain is still not quick at guessing the difference between Chinese and Japanese, so... So does anyone want to confirm to me if this is Chinese or Japanese? I mean, this right here should have given it away to me, to be honest, but... unless this is some other language that looks kind of like it, but I think it's just Chinese and Japanese that look like this. Is it Japanese, actually? Hold on. God, my stupid brain can't seem to tell. It isn't Chinese, okay. Yeah. Like, with some languages, my brain looks at it and it goes, oh, that's this, you know? Like, when I saw the German earlier, like, I was like, oh, that's German, obviously. And obviously, you can tell Korean from the other two fairly easily. But I like that it shows you their languages when you zoom in. That's really helpful for newbies like myself. So, like, if you're like, is it Taiwanese? Is it, like, what is these weird characters? What are they? Where do they belong? You can kind of zoom in and see what the characters look like for the different areas. So that's super helpful. It was still Japanese. Oh, my brain forgot that you said it isn't Chinese. I'm stupid, I'm sorry. Again, this is what happens when I'm tired. My brain remembered it as you saying it wasn't Japanese, and I don't know why. Don't ask, because I don't have an answer for you. Yeah, Jimmy, it's fine. The Portugal one I was never gonna get, so that's not even a disappointment to me. I had no idea where that was gonna be, so this is not excusable. This is just me being a dumbass. But this one I was not gonna be able to figure that one out, so vertical warning stripes. See, the thing is, I could be told all this information over and over and over again. I could see all this information over and over again, and my brain's still gonna tell me no. So my brain's still not gonna remember all that information. Well, we are in a Spanishy country, Spanish type language country. Okay, there's the first yawn on stream. This might just be straight up Mexico, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I'm also a active learner. Like, I have to be doing the thing to learn the thing. Being told things really doesn't help me learn, unfortunately. 5% better than 0%, yeah. I probably don't even hit 5%. My gut wants to say Mexico, but I'd like to get confirmation of that feeling before I just go all in on Mexico. Although this feels like Mexico. See, I'm still not great at distinguishing between a lot of the different Spanish-speaking countries, especially in Latin America. Especially since they don't all speak Spanish, obviously, but... yeah, the hill in the distance isn't gonna help me. Yellow front tags. See, I'll say these things out loud as if they're helpful, yellow front and back. But they're not helpful to me because I don't know what that means. But I think I say it out loud to try to put it in my mind that this location has these things. So remember that for the future, you know? But whether that works or not, your guess is as good as mine. It says San Jose. So, those are taxis? Oh, God. Oh, yeah, those are taxis for sure. With the top signs. See, I'm also not as familiar with, like, how much of everything is included, you know? Is this possibly Southern America? Because sometimes it gets very, like, on the border almost. Because, like, a lot of this down here is, like, primarily Spanish speaking because, like, all of this used to be Mexico, so, you know, maybe something on this bus will be helpful. Oh, no, I'm not going to be able to catch up to the bus. I'm going to go with Mexico. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but... yeah. Sometimes I just get tired of searching around, so... oh, I did see San Bernardo around, so... Bernardo? Why did I say Bernardo? Who knows? San Bernardo. There we go. Sometimes I just get tired of searching around, and I'm like, I'm just going to guess so I can move on to the next one. America. Good old US of A. Not helpful. $902. Oh, so is this... no, this foliage isn't... okay. God, that thing could not be blurrier. 902. I keep saying 902. Annapolis. The blur, man, the blur. Wow, okay. Is this what it's like to look at things when you don't have glasses on? Is that what this looks like for people who don't have good vision? 902. Question is, the only issue with using boards like this for your phone numbers is sometimes they're not localized. Like some of the phone numbers aren't localized to specific areas. Like 1-800, for example, isn't a localized number. But this showing like a campground and it's saying 902 makes me think that that is the correct area code. I just don't know where that area code is. So I'm gonna Google it. Oh, this is the same thing. It's like Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia. There we go. That may. Oh yeah, I've literally looked up this one before. I've literally looked up this one before. The U.S. phone area code system is a complete mess. Yeah, I've literally looked this up before. What is this? See, I can't tell where this sign is pointing me to. Of course, wrong side of the island. Oh, it literally said Annapolis. I'm a dumbass, but that's okay. I've literally looked up 902 before, like several times. It's been a few weeks since I've played this, though, and it's been a busy few weeks, so... Oh. Helpful. This has to be, like... Let's get just a little bit closer. Ooh. Not sure about this one. I'm thinking we're over here, though. Maybe, like... This should be all I need. This should be all the information that I need, to be completely honest. God, I'm so bad with languages. Girl, that's some yellow fucking shoes. Jesus. Looks Turkish from a quick glance. Yeah, I'm not good with my languages, y'all. Oh, yeah. For sure, yeah. You're definitely right on that. Architecture, definitely not Turkish. But what other areas use Turkish type language? There's a whole lot of language on here. Jesus. Oh, that's kind of cool. All the foliage growing over it. It's a cool little area here. It's got EU plates. Turkey? Is Turkey in the EU? The Baltic thing. See, the perk of tagging things Geoguessr is I get people in here who know shit about Geoguessr that I don't know. Which, in essence, helps me learn. And yeah, Turkey is a Baltic thing, right? On this building? Oh, or this. This here? Let's see if I can get any closer. Nope, we can't get any closer. Or is it a big white sign? Impulse. Oh, I hate that. G dot. Not, can't really tell from back here. Might be though. I can't get any closer to it, unfortunately, which is highly unhelpful. Lithuania. Wow, that's quite far away from Turkey. I'm not seeing any of the bottom accents, though, which these other signs had, which is a little bit confusing. Like, this has some underneath stuff. Unless it's just so blurry I can't fucking tell what it is, which is definitely possible. Like, I don't see these, but... It's so interesting how everyone does so many things differently. It's very, I find it very interesting. Well, I guess we'll find out. Yeet. Interesting that that sign had so many of the, like, little U's. Is that just how they draw them there? I don't know. Because it looks like a type of accent, but I'm not seeing it on literally any of these. No, McDonald's. A music store. Interesting. Oh, see, there it is. There's one. Maybe it was just that specific center had that on it. Interesting. It was so interesting watching content about this because it was like people would name countries and I was like, that's a country? I didn't know that was a place. Granted that, you know, American education system, speaking of America, we are back again. It's quite the blur you got going on there. I wonder if we can find an American flag, you guys. I mean, it shouldn't take us very long to find one. I think it's funny because if you know where everywhere has a monopoly, like where certain monopolies are located in the US, that probably would help narrow down US areas. Like DirecTV has a monopoly in so many different places across the US. That would probably help narrow down if you were familiar with it. Which I think is kind of funny, that the monopolies can actually be helpful for this game. Oh, what was that? Is that a water? No, it's this. It looked like a water tower from a distance because it had the watermark on it. I don't know my US plates. I really don't. I kind of know Kentucky plates because it's where I grew up, but I had a Kentucky plate once and completely fucked that up, so I can't really trust the blur plate as where I'm at right now. Like for like where I'm at in my ability to play this game. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but you probably can. It's very loud. I am not far enough along in my Geoguessr journey to confidently guess any license plates that aren't like very specifically like clearly, oh, this is an EU plate, for example. Like that's... Good Lord. I'm on the second floor. You'd think I was on the first floor. It's so loud. This feels East Coast again. This feels like kind of where I grew up, but it's not Kentucky, I don't think. So I don't think that was a Kentucky plate. So I'm also not seeing any UK flags and University of Kentucky flags, I should specify. And if we were in downtown anywhere in Kentucky, you would see either Louisville flags, UK flags, like you wouldn't be able to avoid it. We're very religious about our sporting events over here, especially in Kentucky. Why are we just putting them in the middle of the road, though? This is what I want to know. Why are we doing that? So you're telling me you know what plate that is? Trash bin clue. District of Columbia government. So we're in DC. Huh. Nice. This should be all I need to. I hate when I get dropped in a spot and I know I have all the clues that I need to find where I am. I just don't know what those clues are. You know, like light poles and bullshit like that. And very obvious language things that I should know, but I don't. See, I don't know these. I don't know them. There's a shell, though. Really? I get the easiest clue in the game and I don't know what it is. Durr. Of course. You could just tell me. I'm gonna guess, like, is it a EU country, perchance? Is it Belarus? I feel like it's gotta be one of the ones I've never fucking heard of before or that I never get. Just keep Dur in the back of your mind. Well, it's what my brain is constantly saying, so. See, I feel like this should be a dead giveaway. I should know what language this is, but I don't. I don't know what language it is, and that's really unhelpful. Granted, to my eyeballs, a lot of languages look the fucking same, so. I know it isn't an European Union country. They all standardize on the stop. Well, see, then I have to remember which ones aren't in the EU, and that makes things difficult too, because, bitch, I don't know. You know? Like, I don't know which of these countries aren't in the EU. I have no idea. Like, and that's really frustrating as well. My American education is really, really, really coming into play when it comes to this game. Is it Portugal? No. I've been in Portugal before. And this doesn't look like Portuguese, so Portugal doesn't make any fucking sense. Is it going to be another Baltic nation? There's not any W's in here, so obviously it's not Poland. But, what is this? What is this little area? What is that? What is this part of? I'm confused. That's part of Russia. This one is just hot for the Lithuanian round based on language. Yeah. Oh, that's part of Russia? Weird. I mean, I guess the language kind of makes sense, but... Okay, it's not Belarus. Based on language alone, it's definitely not Belarus. See, it'd be helpful to know which of these are and are not EU countries, so... It's Turkish? Ah. I see you saving me time. Well, now I know. Wonder where we are, though. Turkey's a big old place. I'm gonna assume we're on this side of Turkey, though. I imagine this side is a bit more tracked, but I don't actually have any idea, so... Well, now I know. Dur is Turkey. I think it's the first time I've ever gotten Turkey. Not bad. Obviously, this one didn't go well, but the rest of them weren't bad. Oh, did I? See, sometimes ADHD is helpful with these types of things, and sometimes it's really unhelpful. Oh, tis bike. Oh, we're in... Does that say Tokyo? Well, we're in Japan. No cap, we're in Japan. Yeet. If I zoomed in, I probably could have 5K'd that, but I didn't want to zoom in, so... It's always helpful when they drop you right near somewhere that tells you exactly where you are in the language that you can understand. Well, we're in a Spanish-y country. Maybe Latin America, maybe Mexico, maybe Spain. No, it's not Spain. I'm also not familiar with, like, which countries don't have coverage, which I think would be helpful information. Like, I wish if the country didn't have any coverage, like, at all, it was grayed out on the map. That'd be really helpful. I know most countries have some coverage, but, like, the countries, if there are any countries that have literally no coverage, they should be grayed out, so that just helps you a little bit. This feels Spanish. Like, I took Spanish for 2 years, and this feels like direct Spanish. Like, not some variant that's, like, Argentinian or some shit. Like, it feels very just straight Spanish. But not Spain Spanish, obviously, because we don't have the correct plates for it to be Spain. Africa has, like, 12 countries with Street View. See, that's what I mean. Like, Africa's a massive fucking place, and to have all of those as an option when, like, 12 to 15 of them have any Street View at all is just unhelpful. Well, that's in English. Well, that's confusing. Okay. So Mexico probably, right? Fuck. It's an interesting light. I feel like I've learned more about countries playing this game than I ever did in school. Southern Hemisphere. So not Mexico. Okay, well. I always forget about the sun thing, and I always forget which way it goes, too. So remembering it wouldn't be helpful because I can never... Like, remembering to use it as a tool wouldn't be helpful because... because I'm not gonna, like, my brain will always switch them around. Around which way they should be. Like north means this, south means that, or does it? Is it the other way around? You know? Is that like a flag? That's like a flag. It looks backward. Like, isn't there usually a symbol in the middle of... Is that a country flag? Oh, fuck me and my lack of knowledge. Where's Max when you need them? The flag would fit for this Google car. What Google car? You can't see the car. Except for this. Which isn't really distinct. People who play this game on a regular basis scare me. Because, like, the sheer amount of knowledge you have in your brain that is just useless outside of this game is genuinely impressive. And honestly, I respect it. I respect it because I also have swaths of knowledge for useless shit, you know? I mean, if you say so. But is this not a flag? Is this not like a country flag here? Am I just, or is it just a flag with lights, colors on it? Looks like a black dot to me. There's plenty, you know, yeah, there's obviously plenty here to know where I'm at, obviously. Hello, the boss, hey. And also hello to all the people who have arrived in the middle of this. And thank you for being here. I think the dot is a much simpler meta. I mean, that feels like a very distinguished black dot in the center of that plate there. But I don't know what that means. Oh, Argentina dot. Is that what you're saying? Is this not a flag? It is the Argentina flag. I was like, I know this is a country flag. It just doesn't have the symbol in the center, which is why my brain was like, you know, like this is very clearly an Argentinian flag. Are we in Portugal again? I think we're in Portugal again. Because this looks kind of like that last round that I had where I was in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, this might be America. I don't know. Yeah. Welcome to the fun, all you very educated people on this topic. I will likely be an infuriating person to watch. As I don't know anything. As I have very limited knowledge on things like this. Well, compared to me, you're a pro, so... The sun is to the east. What the fuck does that mean? Is that supposed to be helpful? Ooh, we got solar panels on the roof here. Another thing that's similar to the last time we were in Portugal. I'm going Portugal. Trust your gut, huh? Trust it, huh? Damn it. I'm worse than Nico. Oh, it's Italy. I wonder what it's like to play this game when I'm, like, awake. I wonder what that's like. The UK phone number system explained. Fuck. Stop yawning. One of these days it'll happen. Ooh, this should be a dead giveaway, I imagine. Great. Another unhelpful language that I don't know. Yeah, I figure these mountain ranges are probably a giveaway. Oop, a non-stop stop sign. Do I? On this one? Or on this one? Well, see, having cities on signs is only helpful if I know where those cities are. It's only helpful if I know where it is. Like, for example, getting like certain cities in the US is unhelpful. Like getting like Lexington, for example, which is where I'm from in Kentucky, is not a helpful thing to have because there are Lexingtons in like 20 different states. So getting like, you know what I mean? Like, unless it's like Pittsburgh, you know, like even there are even multiple Pittsburghs in the US, but the likelihood is it's going to be, you know, the Pittsburgh that everyone knows, you know. But like for countries that I have very little familiarity with, getting like a city on one of the signs is like, you know, it's like not helpful because I'm like, well, I don't even know what country this could be in, so I can't even narrow it down. So you guys having 81 Washington and 45 Franklin, right? The U.S. loves copying. We do. Like, I can sometimes guess Brazil based off the dirt, but the dirt is also very common in like over here. So that'll be helpful in the future. Because I always struggle to tell Spanish apart from Portuguese, so because they're derived from similar places, so I assume this is the city you're talking about. That's true. You're not wrong, Jimmy, you're very correct on that. If there's one thing we are as Americans, it is lazy. No. It's probably this one then, isn't it? Well. I only had so many places to pick from, and I picked the wrong one, so. So, Portuguese has do for of, which Spanish does not. That's information I need to remember, because that will be very helpful. Because there's a lot of South America on the world map. And being from North America, we of course did not learn very much about South America, so. Ooh. We haven't been to any of the countries with these looking-ish languages yet. Is it Thailand? We've not been to any of these today. No, I don't think it's Thailand. Just based on the language, that is. Trick driving side. Thai isn't left. Let's get out here to the road then. Oh, is this a fucking one-way street? Okay, we're driving on left. So, Thai drives left. Cambo Laos drive right. Welcome, Stray. Welcome. So we are in Thailand. Sweet. I was right. My first gut reaction was correct. Assuming that that's what all this is. I mean, it looks like it, doesn't it? To a degree. We're on the left side, so... See, that specific, like, driving on which side is going to be, like, a thing that I will have to be reminded of every single time I play. Because I'm not going to remember. I'm going to go Thailand. Yeah. Well, I guess my gut was right on that one. Max is leaving work. Means Max gets to go pick up my drugs. Hold on, I gotta Venmo Max money for my drugs. So I don't forget to do it. Most of Asia actually drives left. Cambo, Laos, and Phil are the main right-hand drives. Interesting. Max is going to pick up my expensive meds, so... Oh, is Max listening in now? Listening in on the drive. They can't stay away from... Geoguessr for too long, so... Max, if you're listening, I have sent you money. Service in my new apartment is not great for some reason. Chat, I need money for drugs. I mean, you're not wrong. My medications are very expensive. Well, my one medication is very expensive. The only other one I take is like $30 every few months, so that one's not bad. But this one is over $100 every month, so yeah, and it's absolutely necessary meds as well. So that's the best round I've had today, I think. Wouldn't be able to do it without y'all's help, of course, but I'm learning things, so that's nice. I've heard over and over and over again that the way to get better at this game is just to play it a lot, so. Ooh. Are we in Brazil? No, this might be over here. I love how it shifts the lines over because of the stupid camera. Temporarily learning, yeah. Until next week when I've completely forgotten the information again. Got some palm trees. I love that, knowing that there's more than enough information here to have it. I'd watched so many YouTube vids on Geo before starting. I knew most of the meta going in. That's kind of where Max is. My roommate Max watches a lot of this type of content. Like, that's all they watch right now. Like, not even exaggerating. Like, that's basically all they watch, unless they're watching something with me, because I'm not quite as sucked into it as they are. Why, though? I don't know. You'd have to ask Max, huh? So, this could be, like, Philippines or Indonesia. Because those are whenever I guess based off the dirt, being Brazil, it's either correct or it's the Philippines or Indonesia. So, you know, it's like either one, it's one of these countries or Brazil. But I don't know how to tell the difference. Okay, we are driving on the right, so that's helpful, I guess. We were just both doing it. You still took forever. Well, that was several weeks ago, so that was a while ago. Personally, I never got the thrill for traveling, learning new customs, cuisine, etc. Is as far from relaxing as I can imagine. Yeah, me too, to be honest. I like learning about other cultures, but I don't think I do well with travel for a number of reasons, health reasons being one of them. But I also have a very specific, very American palate, unfortunately. So that would make things difficult as well. They've been into it more in the past few weeks, I think, than they had prior to that. Like I said, that's all they watch right now when they're by themselves is Geoguessr content. So double yellow center line is an America's thing in general. Okay, so it is Brazil then. Because this is Brazilian dirt. I don't know what you want from me. If there's one thing I've learned from Geo Rainbow, it's what Brazilian fucking dirt looks like. This very red, clayey dirt. The question is, are we in North Brazil or South Brazil? That's why I travel to English-speaking places. That's another issue, is I only speak English. I don't speak any other languages. So I do not have a brain that's geared towards language. Even when I tried to learn language back in like high school, in middle school, it was not. It was not happening for me. Some people just don't, like, some people have math brains and some people have language brains. Some people have English brain, and I don't really have any of those anymore. I would say I'm more of a math brain person, especially growing up, than languages. Languages are not for me, man. Hold on, I think I see a sign up here. Never mind, the sign is unhelpful. I have a very basic level of French. I got an E. Like, I know what some languages look like. Like, a lot of the Romance languages, I'm familiar with what they look like. But then at the same time, you have languages that look like those languages that aren't those languages. Like, German is fairly easy to guess, but like we discovered earlier, other places use German outside of Germany. Like, Austria, for example, speaks German. So they have German science and stuff. So, like, knowing what the thing looks like isn't as helpful as you would think, unless only one country speaks that language or uses that language, you know? So, like, you know, I've studied Finnish, Swedish, both mandatory here, English, German, and Japanese. Jesus. See, that's one of the issues with America, is we're not required to learn a language that's not English, which really frustrates me, because I wish I'd been taught a different language when I was young, like elementary school young, because that's when our brains are most accustomed to learning new languages. Even those of us who are garbage at learning language, like as an adult, even if I like I would have to fully move to a place that speaks no English at all and make it a survival thing that I had to learn the language in order to learn the language. So that is just something I know about myself, is like my brain is not accustomed to words in any language, because I struggle with English a lot of the time, and that's the only language I speak. So that just is how it is. I'm so envious of people who speak a bunch of different languages or understand a bunch of different languages, or even just bilingual, like just knowing 2 languages. I think that's so fucking cool, and that's something that, like, if there are like other lives and stuff, I hope I end up with one of those, because it just seems like you get such a better worldview and you get to talk to so many more people when you speak their language. Because while English is one of the most spoken languages in the world, there's a reason for that, and it's not a good reason. It's a very negative reason. But just take Africa, for example. Like, how many different languages do they speak in Africa? Like, there are so many different languages across just this one continent. Granted, it's a very large continent with a lot of different places in it, but like, you know, like, it's just, there's so many different languages here, and it's so rich in culture, and there's so much to learn that you can't learn if you don't at least try to understand their language, because they can't, having it translated to English, there's a lot of languages that there are no direct translations into English for what it means, especially like languages that use like a Mandarin type like characters and stuff. Like, a lot of Eastern countries don't have direct translations into English, so you miss out on a lot of culture and significance and stuff like that for certain words and things like that because it just doesn't, there's not an equivalent in English, you know? And like, so much of this world over here does not speak English as like a main language. Like, some of them will have you learn it, just, you know, because, you know, you can't really translate Spanish swearing. But like, so many EU countries, learning English as a second language is very common. So whereas in this dumbass country over here, you learn English. You can learn other languages if you choose to, but a lot of even high schools don't require you to learn a second language to graduate. Like in my high school, we had to take 2 years of either French, German, or Spanish to graduate. So I took the minimum that was necessary, 2 years of Spanish. I did terrible at it. Like despite trying and trying and trying, I was just absolute garbage at it. I graduated. I got lucky that my college didn't require it for graduation. They changed that rule while I was in college, thank God. And it was just, it's so stupid because it really, like, at the minimum in the US, we should be required to learn Spanish as a second language because, like, half our country used to be Mexico. So, like, it's really dumb that they don't have us learn Mexican specific Spanish, at least, you know, like there are a lot of different variations of Spanish, of course, but like standard Spanish, you know, yeah, by that time your brain isn't malleable to easily absorb languages. Exactly. And so those of us who don't have brains geared towards that ability are going to really struggle with that. Where there are some people out there who learn languages throughout their whole life. They'll pick up new languages and learn new languages and over and over and over again into their 50s and 60s. And that's just so crazy cool to me. And like I said, I struggle to remember English words a lot, and I speak English. There's a lot of English words I don't know. I live with an English major who is a very intellectual person who knows a lot of words that are English words that I don't know what they mean. And I'm really jealous and envious of people who have the ability to learn second languages even into adulthood, because like I said, it would take that being my only option, that it would take me sticking myself in a place where my only chance of survival is to learn that language. And even then, I don't know if I'd be able to do it. So, you know, like drop me in the middle of Zambia or something and don't give me a way to translate anything into English and make it where I have to learn English or learn their language there in order to survive. And then maybe I will learn it, you know, or drop me in the middle of China or like Nepal or like somewhere that doesn't do English all the time anyways, is like a standard practice. And maybe then I'll learn the language, but I just think it's so cool, people who speak multiple languages, because it's something I know that I don't have the capacity to do. Ooh, these are some very slender manny woods right here. This looks like logging woods, but they're not in a straight line, so no, it would not be logging woods. Well, they're kind of lined up, but not really. Anyways, after that tangent, it's a long play we got there. I think you'd do fine in China. They'd arrest you as a spy and toss you in jail. I'm also queer, so I don't know how nice China is to queer people. So probably not very, but they're not even nice to their own people. So I don't know how well they'd like this very white, very queer human being in their countries. So, Chinese, Korean, and Japanese is a nightmare to learn. Yeah, I mean, especially since it's completely different characters as well. So, like, at least for me, would they know that from the surface? I mean, I'm trans, so they'd probably figure it out pretty quickly, as I would need access to certain medications. But, but I feel like, obviously, learning languages that have the same type of characters as you, so, like, if you speak English, learning French, German, or Spanish will be easier because they base from the base characters are the same, whereas learning Mandarin is going to be very difficult because it looks nothing like the language you're used to. So, you know, that's one of the reasons I believe that why they offered Spanish, French, and German here for us to learn, because A, those are the most helpful languages for us as Americans to learn, but also they're the easiest ones to learn as a branching point from English, because a lot of it overlaps and stuff like that. So, but like, and they also don't have like specific sounds that your throat has to make that are completely specific to that language, like Spanish, French, and German obviously sound different from one another, but they don't, unlike Chinese, Japanese, Polish, like there aren't like certain sounds that are just completely unnatural to English in Spanish, German, and French. Whereas like Polish has certain sounds you make that are completely unnatural to an English-speaking person, for example. Same for like Japanese, Korean, Chinese. Like they have certain sounds in those languages that would be very difficult for someone who is only an English speaker to learn. Just generally speaking, of course, there are some people that are very, like I said, good at learning those things. But learning, pronouncing Japanese was surprisingly easy. Reading, writing being the biggest hurdle. Yeah, I feel like learning to speak a language is probably the easiest part of that language, whereas learning to like write it is very difficult. Yes, they would know I am a queer from my internet monitoring. It would not be difficult to discover. It would not be hard at all. My VPN usage would skyrocket. It's a long plate here, but I can't get close enough to the plates to really know where they're from. Because this doesn't look like an EU plate. I'm not seeing any blue on there. So, uncertainty. There's also not any writing on these fucking trucks, which is also unhelpful. Hello, Tails. Welcome. It's so interesting how many new people I get when I play Geoguessr versus literally anything else. So, ooh, some signage. This could be helpful. Nope, never mind. It's blurry. Tis a blur. I don't know if this is going to be helpful to me or not, but what is anything else you play? Lately, I've been playing the Walking Dead Telltale series. That's what I've been playing recently. I just started a new job, so I'm not able to stream on Thursdays or Fridays anymore, so that makes my streaming schedule a little bit shorter than it used to be. But I do editing streams because I do reactions on YouTube, so Mondays right now are editing She-Hulk, and then Tuesdays are gaming, and then Wednesdays are Reddit. I just purchased the Spider-Man game, the PS4 Spider-Man game, and I'm going to start that soon, so that'll be on the list for to start in the next week or two. But I bounce around between games here and there. But also I do Geoguessr. Like I said, I do Reddit stuff as well. I kind of hop around to keep things interesting so that we don't just stay on one thing for forever. Though we've been doing Walking Dead for a while. I just finished season 2 of the game. So, you know, I've played Last of Us 1 and 2. I've played Until Dawn a lot. As well as a bunch of other things. No spooky games for Spooktober. I'll probably get back into Mortuary Assistant because I think they've got some updates coming out soon. I'm a very big fan of Mortuary Assistant. I would like to find some spooky games for Spooktober to play. The issue is that I get motion sick from a lot of games. Oh, true. I did play Stray. How did I forget Stray? I literally did speedrunning for Stray. The issue with spooky games is a lot of them are first-person perspective, and those games make me motion sick, unfortunately, a lot of the time. Not always. Like I said, Mortuary Assistant is a first-person game, and I do fine in that. So I have to be careful with what spooky games I play, because like the classic spooky games like Outlast, for example, I cannot play that game. I get super motion sick just watching people play that game. So finding spooky games that I can play gets kind of difficult due to that unfortunate and idiotic bodily response. So fixed cam games are helpful for sure, yeah. OG Res and Tormented Souls are third person. I tried playing Resi 4. Did not like it. I did not like it at all. I think I played it for about 30 minutes and then I stopped. I could not get behind the controls of like having to stand still while you shoot. I just couldn't do it. I played Control a long time ago, which I think is a spooky-ish game. It's not like a horror game, but it's got spooky vibes to it. I played that game ages ago when it came out. Lots of fun. I've played Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. I played Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'll be playing Zelda 2 whenever it comes out, which I think is May of next year, so not for a while. But I'd like to try new things and new games, especially if things are gifted to me. I will absolutely try them at the very least, unless I know they're going to make me throw up. You know? What was that really difficult one you hated? Dark Souls. I played Dark Souls for about 20 or 30 minutes before I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm too frustrated. This isn't fun. I still have it, or Bloodborne, not Dark Souls, Bloodborne, sorry. I played that one for a little bit, and then I was like, I don't have the wherewithal for this game. I kept it, and I didn't sell it off in case I decided to go back and try it again. But it was very frustrating. It was a very short stream of a lot of, I think I made it to the first checkpoint, and then I was stuck after that. So I was just doing the same route over and over and over again for 30 minutes, and it was really frustrating. And I just was like, I don't have the calmness to play this game. I don't have the innate desire to put myself through this. So I stopped playing it because I don't want to play a game if it's not fun. You know, like if I'm not enjoying myself, I don't want to play it. And it got to the point that it wasn't fun anymore very quickly, I should add. Same with like when Forbidden West first came out. I played it right as it came out, and it had some bugs and stuff in it that were making it very hard to enjoy. So I had to stop playing it for a little bit until they put out some updates that made it a bit more reasonable. And then I got back into playing it, and I really enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun. I don't like playing it if it's not fun. So that's really important to me. I don't want it to be like forcing myself to play this game because, you know, I said I would play it on stream and then end up hating it and then just being really fucking annoyed, you know. Watching another Geo streamer branch into Dark Souls 3. Last stream he got so tilted he stomped off for a cry break and then came back saying, "Chat, we ever meet IRL, I'm throwing hands." Yeah, I've been told that Elden Ring is actually a good way to get into the Dark Souls universe because it's not as hard as certain games like Bloodborne, for example, or the standard Dark Souls franchise. But Elden Ring is a very expensive game. I bought Bloodborne because I got it for like less than $10. That's why I bought Bloodborne. Because it was cheap, it was inexpensive, and I've heard a lot of good about the game. I've heard a lot of people say it's their favorite game. And I can understand how people who like that level of challenging could enjoy the game, but I prefer at least a little bit of hand-holding in my games, at least at the beginning of the game, to sort of a tutorial of some kind at all would be great. And Bloodborne just doesn't have that, so you had to learn everything, and it just wasn't fun. Oh, is that the VOD, the Bloodborne VOD? Oh, I played it a lot longer than I thought I did. I made it an hour and a half in before I was like, I can't fucking do this anymore. Resi 4, I only made it 30 minutes, though. I remember that. Because I just got so annoyed. Because of I was A, getting motion sick from the camera movements, and B, I really didn't like that you had to stand still while firing your weapon, because that's just really stupid. So that didn't help either. Honest opinion, DS1 is by far the easiest. Elden Ring has probably the hardest bosses in the series in the late game. That's fair. I'm looking forward to playing the Spider-Man game, though. I do plan on looking into some spooky games to play during this spooky season. But whether that actually ends up happening or not is kind of up in the air, because like I said, I work over the weekends, and those usually wipe me out, so... I have sat on a 14.5 hour Bloodborne stream where the streamer beat 2 bosses in that time. See, I don't have the patience for that. I really don't. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't have the patience for that. I just don't. I'll sit and replay Until Dawn for 14 and a half hours before I play before I play Bloodborne on the same 2 levels for 14 and a half hours. I'm stubborn, but not in that way. I'm not stubborn in that capacity. That is no. See, that was something I liked about Last of Us, is that Last of Us had some challenging levels that you had to die on several times to sort of understand what you needed to do. And it would get frustrating sometimes, but you'd figure it out within 20, 30 minutes. You'd figure out how to get past that section. And then it was fun again, because it was like, yay, you know, I've done it. Plus, there's a story in... I was able to get far enough into Last of Us to give a fuck about the story before it started getting difficult. Whereas Bloodborne starts hard, you know, like I don't have a chance to know any of the characters, give a shit about the world, outside of like how cool the design is and all that. I don't have enough time to get invested in it to then pursue through the hard bits, if that makes any sense. Plus, like I said, there was no tutorial whatsoever, so that's not helpful either. If you have any good, ideally third-person horror games, or like really short first-person games, like really short horror games that only take 20-30 minutes to play and get all the way through that are first-person, feel free to drop those in the Discord, especially if they're not crazy expensive, because I can deal with first-person for a while. Last of Us did give me motion sickness, but not for a while. I have like ginger root pills that I take that can help last. It does make me motion sick. It just takes a while because of I couldn't turn off motion blur for at least game 1. I can't remember if game 2 let me turn off motion blur, but it did make me sick. It did. It just takes a while with third-person games. Whereas first-person games like Soma, for example, I played Soma many years ago before I was even streaming on Twitch. I was streaming it on YouTube, and I literally didn't make it to the 30-minute mark because I was going to throw up because the motion sickness was so horrendous. So Evil Within might be an option, although it does take a good while to start with story revealing. I think I've heard of Evil Within. Yeah, I've definitely seen these covers before. See, something that bothers me about my motion sickness is the only place I get motion sick is video games. That's the only place I get motion sick. The only kind of motion sickness I have is simulation sickness. I don't get sick on roller coasters. I don't get sick on car rides. Like, I don't get sick on anything else. It's just video games. And that is so fucking annoying to me. Especially because I spent so much of my life looking at screens that you'd think by now my brain would be able to register the difference between a screen and the real fucking world. I want to try VR. I have a friend in town that has a VR headset that I need to steal from them for a little bit to try it out and see if I'm capable of VR, because simulation sickness is very much based in seeing movement that you're not feeling. So if my looking around is correspondent to my head movements, I feel like that will help with the motion sickness for certain things. I know I've been saying that for a year. I need to text her and say, hey, can I just come grab it from you? Because I think I have to drive by her general area of living on my way to work. So I might be able to stop by her place if she's up that early on a Thursday or Friday and just grab it from her and borrow it from her for a couple weeks to see if I like it or not. Very rarely get illness vibes from games. Yeah, it's very annoying. I've had it forever. I've always had motion sickness with games. Also ask if they still play it. My friend said that she also gets motion sickness with some games, but doesn't tend to have too hard of a time with VR. I want to play, what is the VR game? It's called like Blood and Stone, or Blood and Sorcery. I'd love to play Blood and Sorcery. It looks like so much fun. It'll probably make me motion sick as fuck, but it looks like loads of fun. The reason I want to borrow it though is because obviously I don't want to spend $300 on a VR set and then not be able to use it because it makes me motion sick, you know? I imagine unless you have one favorite game, then VR can get boring. They're making more and more VR games lately. I feel like I'd be down to play like FNAF VR, because I know I don't get motion sick with the OG FNAF games. I do get motion sick with Security Breach, obviously, because it's a first-person game that you run around and all that. But I know I don't get motion sick with any of the other FNAF games, so VR shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, back when PSVRs came out, they didn't really have very many good VR games back then, but they're making more and more these days. I'd like to try it simply due to the fact that I get motion sick with horror games, and also what's scarier than playing a VR horror game? Like, you're literally in it, so I think that could be fun. I've also got the space in this room to set up VR if I wanted to move around and all that stuff, and flail and whatever I need to do. I've got room in this setup to do that. The only one that interests me, and I suppose most people, is Beat Saber. That's fair. I know Spider-Man makes me motion sick. I know it does. But I also don't know what all settings I'm able to turn on and off that would help with that, like motion blur and things like that. I can turn those off to help. I know it's going to make me motion sick. I know that that's why I waited for it to be on sale. I wasn't going to pay full price for a game that I'm not going to be able to play in full. Like, I couldn't, like, sit down and play it for, like, 6 hours more than likely. It'll probably be, that's one of the reasons I do short streams anyways, is for motion sick games. I can usually make it through 2 hours of a game before motion sickness really hits me to the point that I need to stop. I know Spider-Man's going to make me motion sick. I watched people play it back when it came out, and it made me sick watching people play it. But I also don't know what settings they had turned on and off, so fewer swinging and such. Yes, I know the swinging is going to be rough. But I did order it off Amazon, so if I pop it into my thing and it ends up making me super sick, I can just return it and get my money back. But ideally, I'll be able to stick it through because there are other games that I've played that make me motion sick that I've played the whole thing. Control was one of those. Control made me super motion sick. I had to take breaks in the middle of stream to sort of like go lay down, take a nap to sort of readjust before I could come back and play more. But I fucking love that game. I love it a lot. I'd love to play it again, actually. I might buy it for the PlayStation and play it in its beauty, in its full entirety. Because I played it on PC, and my PC is game capable, but it struggles to play games and stream at the same time. And it's available for PlayStation, I believe. Control is. So I might look into replaying that game because it's been a few years since I played it last. But who knows? But like I said, if you've got any good horror games and stuff that aren't crazy expensive, feel free to drop those in my Discord server and I'll look into them. I do have a PS5 sitting right over here, just off camera. I spent my stimulus check on it, so so yes, I have a PS5. I went from PS2 to PS5, so don't facepalm at me, okay? It was a stimulus check that at the time I did not need for anything else, so I used it on something I wanted, you know? I only got the one stimulus check, and it was after tax season, so I spent it on a PS5, which was a great purchase. I very much enjoyed that purchase. You all have enjoyed the fruits of that purchase, so don't complain, okay? I never would have been able to play Last of Us 1 or 2 if I had not bought this fucking console, okay? I would never have been able to play Horizon Forbidden West, or tried Bloodborne, or Stray, or... There's so many games I've gotten to play because I bought this fucking expensive-ass gaming console, okay? I'm thinking about purchasing an Xbox Series X, is that what it's called? The tower one? To play Xbox games that are exclusive to Xbox. It's way cheaper than the PS5, like $600. That's literally half of what I spent on my fucking PS5. Not anytime soon, but in the future I might look into purchasing that so I can play Xbox games. Because games like Quantum Break, for example, are exclusive to the Xbox, and playing it on the computer wasn't very fun. I would have rather have played it on a console where I could play it in its full glory. And without having to deal with frame drops and really shitty image quality and stuff like that for you all, and lowering all of the quality settings to make it run and all that I have to do when I play it on the computer. So, what is the name of that game? It's not a horror game, it's not any of that, but it's got, the main character is a trans guy. It's called Tell Me Why, and I believe it's an Xbox and PC only release. So, yeah, it's an Xbox game. And I really want to play it. It looks really good. It's Don't Nod. It's a Don't Nod game. We've played those before. We've played Don't Nod before. We've, like, Life is Strange, for example, is Don't Nod. We've played all of Life is Strange, and we've loved it. We've played other Don't Nod games, though, right? I know we have. I've heard of Remember Me. But we've played other Don't Nod games, but we've literally played every single Life is Strange game, so we've played a lot of Don't Nod. So I mean, I've played Fortnite on PC. I don't really need to buy an Xbox to play Fortnite, although I don't have any desire to play Fortnite anymore. So that was a moment of weakness that I'm past. So yeah, Tell Me Why is on Steam. It was released on Steam and on Xbox. Yeah. Yes, sure. Let's say I was born January. That's not true, but... Yep. So... Why what? You telling us why? Because I want to be able to play it in its full image quality. I don't want to have to drop the image quality down so far that I can't tell what's going on, just so that I can stream it, just so that I can play it while streaming. That's the perk of having the console, is that like playing Horizon Forbidden West on the PC would have sucked so hard because that game is so fucking beautiful, and I would have had to lower basically all of the quality settings, if not all of them, to play it on the PC at all, let alone play it on PC and stream it. But on having the PS5 do that for me, having it run the game for me, means I can play it with all of the quality settings turned all the way to the top level, and only having to turn down things that make me motion sick. So why am I using an actual potato? I'm sorry, man, but I spent $1,500 on this PC. What do you want from me, okay? It wasn't a cheap PC, okay? Leave me alone. It's not my fault that it can't do both, okay? But see, if I have an Xbox, if I just spend the money on an Xbox, then I have an Xbox, a PlayStation, and a PC. So like games that only come out on PC, I can play them on PC. Games that come out on Xbox and PC, I can play them on Xbox. Games that come out on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, I can play on PlayStation. So I will have all of the main consoles covered, and I have a Switch. So, you know, like, I will have them all covered. So I'll be able to play them all in their full beauty, because there's nothing I hated more about playing Horizon Zero Dawn than the fact that I had to lower all the quality settings to play it. Even if they're high-end, you can't play them on PC. I can play them on PC. They just are very pixelated. Oh, wow, it's really cheap right now. $20 for the whole thing. Is the whole thing out right now? The whole thing is out already, right? Includes Tell Me Why Chapter 2, Tell Me Why Chapter 3. That's the whole thing. Yeah, it came out 2020, so yeah. Oh, I'm not buying it right now, motherfucker. I'm not buying it right now. I've just stated to you that this is a game I would prefer to play on Xbox. Ooh, that's good to know. I assume on... Well, that's good to know. That'll be a good way to test to see if it makes me super motion sick or not. I own both of those. You own both of the Evil Withins? Nice. And Tell Me Why. Nice. All of the things. I was really surprised when I looked into the Xbox Series X that they were only $600. Like, I really expected them to be way, way more than that. Genuinely, I did. Oh, finally. We're in Russia or Ukraine. Of course, that makes sense. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, okay, was it? Okay. And I loved Last of Us 1 and 2. I really did. I really, really, really enjoyed those games, even if Last of Us 2 pissed me off sometimes because of the way they paced the game. But that was the only issue I had with Last of Us 2. I just think 99% of the games on shooting games are shooting games on Xbox. I wonder, because there's the Xbox One, which is even cheaper. I wonder how many games are like back playable. Because like they've released a lot of PS5 games for PS4 as well. I wonder if they've been doing the same thing for the Xbox One because it's $200. So, but I think it's significantly older. Yeah, it's half the price of the Xbox X. But I don't know how much of the games that they release these days, like Tell Me Why, for example, that are playable on the Xbox One. I'm not sure if that would be worth it because I don't want to like buy the Xbox One and then not be able to play the new games that come out on it, you know. Whereas like buying a PS4 right now would be fine because basically every game they've released for the PS5, they've released a PS4 version. So you also take into account the storage you will need to download all the game basically, and the CDs are near useless. Yeah, that's really frustrating. That's something I really don't like about the new consoles and stuff is like the CDs are just redemption codes essentially. That's really frustrating. A really frustrating thing about all the new stuff. I think that if you buy the physical disc, the disc should be able to store some of the gaming information on it, like some of your own personal data and stuff on it, instead of it all being stored on the console. I think that's really frustrating and annoying. But you know, it is what it is. Can't unfortunately change any of that. I feel like I should know where we are. These really short buildings. Oh, hello, sir. He was up on the pole. I will be stopping soon, just by the way. Max should be home any minute now. So yeah, that was something that really frustrated me. I thought that buying the physical discs would save me storage on my actual console, but I ended up having to buy a external hard drive to store my games on anyways. So because the PlayStation only has so much storage space on it. So I just move all of my PS4 games straight onto the external hard drive because you can play them straight off the hard drive. And then once I finish the PS5 games, I move those onto the hard drive as well. But like most of the games I've bought the PS4 versions. The only game I have the PS5 version of is Horizon Forbidden West. That's the only PS5 game I own right now. I think did I buy the PS5 version of Quarry? I don't remember. I don't remember if I bought, because I resold it. I sold it at the bookstore down the street to get some money back. I got $20-30 for it, so pretty good. I paid like $50 for it, but getting any money back for it was nice. I can't remember which version of it I bought, though. I think I probably bought the PS4 version, but don't quote me on that. I genuinely don't remember. That game was fine. I wish that game had been scarier, but whatever. I really like Mortuary Assistant, though, and I believe they're coming out with some Halloween updates, so that should be fun. I'd like to get back into doing night streams at some point. Probably not till next week, though, because the night streams tend to be fun. So, you know. Plus, that allows me to do 2 streams in a day if I start doing night streams again, which will be nice to stream more often when I can. Of course, my body hurts all the time because of my job, but hopefully that'll change one day. My neck isn't as stiff as it was earlier, so You mean the game that was super frustrating and long cutscenes? Yes. That would be The Quarry. The one with the werewolves. God. I've seen some footage from that game that I didn't come across when I was playing it. Absolutely hilarious. Hilarious. A comedy, that game. That game literally wasn't scary at all. Like, I think there was like one tense scene in the whole game where I was like, I'm tense, you know? And it was like, oh, we're in Argentina again. Oop, we're in the UK, no doubt. Jimmy, it's your homeland. Croydon Council. The intro chapter. The intro chapter was great. All of the chapters where we got to play as what's-her-face, as the main chick that we meet at the beginning of the game, all of those chapters were the best chapters. And then we got into all the other stupid counselors. Ugh. The intro chapter was the most stressful part of that whole game. Outside of, like, the very end where things start actually happening. A new driver tag. Oh, that's cute. Any idea where the Croydon Council is, Jimmy? Any ideas? That's a weird-ass looking tree. This poor thing. Near London? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Oh. That is Nepal. Nope, 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 nope. It's one of these. Fuck. I knew this language before. Nope, I didn't mean to click. What the hell? Fuck. I know this language. Brain. No, it's over here. It's over here. It's over here. Right? Right? Like, Jerusalem area? Brain? Maybe? No? God. I literally used to know exactly what this language was. This is what happens when I don't play for a while. Right? Is it not? Am I fucking crazy? Is it not Jerusalem? Is it not Jerusalem? Am I crazy? I'm just guessing. I'm going for it. I was fucking right. Okay. I wasn't crazy. Thank God. Well, lots of people in and out today. It was nice. I'm gonna call it here today. A good 2 hours is nice. Plus Max will be home soon. We got dinner to cook. Jerusalem and crazy. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Very much correct on that. So, also my stream deck is working today again. I don't know why it wasn't working yesterday, but you know, I figured, like I told you yesterday, I figured it would start working again today. But Max should be home soon. I've got dinner to cook. We got having some tacos tonight. So thank you to all the new people who showed up. I don't know all of your names. But I appreciate you being here. I had a lot of fun, as I usually do with these streams. We get to talk a lot in these streams, and if y'all know anything about me, it's that I like to fucking talk. Yes, real food tonight, Jimmy. Making some tacos. I will see you all tomorrow with some Reddit. We will be doing the good old Reddit stream tomorrow with some Am I the Asshole? Normal time tomorrow, assuming all goes to plan. Thank you for a great week so far of streaming. And for those who aren't able to join tomorrow, I'll see you next week on Monday for She-Hulk if you want to come to that. But thank you to all those news peoples. I don't think we have anyone to raid right now. I don't think anyone else is active. Like any of our other small buddies are live right now. I haven't gotten any notifications about them being live. So, nope, no one else is live right now. So we'll just call it here. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you all when I see you all. Goodbye.